Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope this day finds everybody well in all your ways. I'm sitting out here enjoying this nature, enjoying some of this sun. And of course, when I'm in nature near water, I'm thinking. And just recently saw a little video. We have been made to believe that the 666 is something ugly, something bad, the devil number. And the 666 is neurons, protons, electrons that's in us. And 6 is the number of a man. We all got neurons, electrons, and protons inside of us. See, we were manifested into this spiritual realm spiritually. Like we have another child, the bloodline. My mother manifested me because her and my father got together sexually and put their energy together, which manifested another entity into the physical realm. In putting two energies together sexually, it's either thinking about and feeling something at the same time. And this is how we manifest. We manifest into the physical realm by thinking about something and feeling that thought. Now, we don't get to choose what is going to manifest into the physical realm. If they both feel in pain, anger, hurt, you see, then they manifest something into the physical that will have that anger, that will have that pain, if you understand what I'm saying. So again, I don't know what anybody has in their thoughts when they go and be intimate with another spiritual being as to what they're going to manifest, because two people can come together and be in a good space, in a loving space, in a intellectual, space, and manifest something good that will serve for a higher purpose, that will evolve and have a better opportunity. See, we manifest each other into this world with our conscience awareness, because that's what the source is. This Jesus, this God, this book story, God is consciousness. It is one source, one intelligence, one love. And our perception of love has been tainted and is based on people's perception of what love is. You see, everybody have a different love language. So we are creating all of this in this world ourselves through our conscience that's connected to the and in our own love language. So when we create these things spiritually, you see, and they manifest physically, we have created a world that all of us live in. Okay? And that's what we got to stop doing. We have to stop blaming and pointing the finger. Nobody is doing anybody anything. We're creating these things ourselves. And just as we create them, we can stop something that we created by creating something else. See, this is why the word change is necessary to get the fullness out of your life experience. If you're doing something that does not work or serve for your higher purpose, doesn't serve for peace, it doesn't serve for joy, happiness, togetherness, unity, you see, then we need to look at that which we are doing that does not serve for a higher purpose. We point the finger and not realize in order for us to have life exists two experience ourselves, because that's what we're doing, experiencing ourselves in the physical realm, because we couldn't experience ourselves spiritually. When we encounter people, places, and things, they're speaking to us to experience ours in this life. We have to look at what life is showing us when we are with people, when we are without people, when we are places, when we change places, when we are on jobs, when we change jobs. We have to look at what life says to us. And whether you change the job because you had to move, that's still a lesson. Oh, if you change a job because you didn't like the job, you have to distance again to experience ourselves in human form. And nothing is for us to keep. It is just an experience. We came in spiritually, you see, and we're going to leave out spiritually. We came in spiritually into an avatar, and we're going to leave out spiritually out of the avatar. So, see, the avatar is necessary for us to have. The avatar is necessary for us to have the life experience. Without it, we can't have it. So we get to choose what we want to experience. There is no boogeyman. There is no one doing us anything. Everything is happening for us to learn from it. You see, we need to reprogram our minds. And if you don't reprogram your mind, then you will continue to see things the way you have been seeing them. We were created to be creative. And so we get to create the world that we choose to live in while here on this planet. The atmosphere changes with the planets, it changes with the universe. That's out of everyone's control. And this is why we have to learn to understand our intuition, to tap into our inner man, because it speaks to us. You see, as within, so without. If you are a spirit and I am a spirit, those two spirits as souls, S-O-U-L, they know each other. You see, because we come from the source, we come from the spiritual realm. So the souls know each other, but you see, we have this thing called the ego, and that ego has created false identities, that I am such and such. No, you're not such and such. You experience being a teacher. You experience being a caterer. You experience being a driver. You experience being a mother. You see, you experience being a electrician. You experience a singer. Everything that we do are just experiences. And we confine ourselves to one experience. So this means that we're not living life to the fullest. We are depriving our own selves of living life to its fullest. We are saying that someone is doing us something in the elite and the powers that be in the corrupt government system. But they're projecting to us how we are. How can we see people in power that we can't see with our physical eyes? How can we say that the government is corrupt? You see, how do we know what corrupt is? See, in order to see the corruption, you got to know the corruption. Then you have to ask yourself, how do you know corrupt as a thing? You see, as a word. We're mirrors. The mirror is the thing outside of you, as within, so without. As above, which is atmosphere, the universe, the planets, the energies that are within those planets that we are connected to. We have a universe within ourselves. We are connected to each one of those planets. When we came out of the womb of the mother, those planets were certain spots in the universe. And as we came out, those things froze. You see, whatever these planets were as we came out, that's how we are connected to them. You see, everything is connected. Everything that is, has been, and will always be. Nobody is creating anything that has not been, but they're discovering their creativeness. You see, it is here already. We just have to tap into it. There is nothing new. You see, that would be saying that somebody can do something that nobody else can do. We can do anything that we put our minds to. Wherever energy goes is where the energy flows. But there are things that will say or challenge us to say that we can't do it. And this is where we continue to push and push and push and find our strength and find our best self, you see. Find our courage, find our endurance, find our patience, find our tolerance by pushing past what is an obstacle in the way. But a lot of times people give up. And this is why we keep having the obstacles, because life is showing us that we can do it. So again, we manifest into this physical realm to experience ourselves. And if you don't want to experience something, you stop experiencing it and you create something else. It's simple as that. And no one can say that you can't. You can leave the person alone who is trying to prevent you from being creative, being your best self, learning, growing, and evolving. You can leave the person alone and choose to continue creating and evolving and growing. Or you could stay with the person who does not want you to grow and evolve and be your best self. See, we have choices. And that's the person who is in your way of growing. So see, that's where the choice comes in. Do I choose me or do I choose something outside of me? But if something outside of you does not want you to be your best self, why do you want to be with something, someone, somewhere that is putting obstacles in your way, challenging you? You see? So again, either you're going to get over the hurdle and keep pushing, or you're going to let someone hinder your growth, your evolution of becoming bigger, better, and brighter. A lot of people will be triggered because life is asking us to expand our mind beyond what we know. Everybody knows something, and we can know if we tap into and understand everything within, showing us what is without. So we just have to pay attention to what life is saying to us spiritually. So this is why we have to tune in, turn on, and tap into the spiritual realm, because the spiritual realm is not physical. If I'm sitting here around all of these trees, which are green, you see, nature is quiet out here, it's peaceful out here, so life is showing me peace. Maybe I had been around too much chaos and mayhem, you see what I'm saying, and distraction, and life put me in this situation where I'm near peace, you see, and I'm at peace here. I'm not trying to get to the next thing. I'm not trying to get out of here. I'm not trying to rush this time that I have here. So I'm accepting where I am in this moment. And a lot of times we don't do that. We want to push against we want to ignore what life is saying to us. You see, life is always speaking, but we are not listening. And the people who are here to accumulate the money, you see, and the things of the world, they are the obstacles. You got a lot of people who are agents, you see. They're put in place, challenge you to not to be attached to nothing, to no one, and nowhere. There has to be people that is going to challenge us, oppose us, because that's asking you to grow. If you stay stuck and stagnant, then life is going to keep talking to you. You're not going to learn anything. Life will make you uncomfortable because it's asking you to grow. You came here to grow and evolve, to experience yourself and be your best self. That's one of the things right there. Spirit is speaking right now. The throat chakra. See, it started getting, see, because I'm a truth speaker. We have to learn to speak our true feelings, but in a way that we don't offend someone, but to be free. And someone is having difficulty speaking truth, wherever it may be, to whoever it may be. You see, to whoever you married to, who family members, on your job, in your church, you see, your neighbors, in the school. I don't know who may get this video, but it's all said. When a student is ready, a teacher will appear, and we all have something to learn, many things to learn. How will we learn if no one teaches us? We're here to learn. And the only way we can learn is if we pay attention to what life is teaching us. We're not just here to spin around on a hamster wheel and accumulate things that we can't keep. We're here to experience ourselves, to better ourselves, which is the soul. You see, the spirit man. It has been here before. See, the soul keeps coming back so that it can become brighter, you see. And men holes that were put into it, it has been fractured, pieces, broken, you see. Like the Big Bang Theory they said about how all of this got started. We are fractured pieces of the whole. We're stardust of all there is. So I'm just a spark of light, a dust particle. And if we're here together, I could show you something that I experienced and got through because I met you, and you probably going through the same thing. Because you're not going to meet somebody that you can't learn anything from. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. We don't get to meet everybody in our daily lives. So you have to ask yourself, why do you meet who you meet when you meet who you meet? And why do you say what you say when you say what you say to who you meet when you meet who you meet? We meet people for a reason. We meet people for a season. We meet people for a lifetime. And so we have to learn from everyone that we meet. We have to die to our egos. And the ego is the thing that gets us in the way of loving each other.